What a fun series. I'm an LA kid. I grew up in Inglewood by the Forum.
Yeah.
So I grew up going to a lot of Laker games. Yes. So this is just so fun to get this look in this way. When you got the call that you were going to do this, was it just an immediate yes because of this one right here and this one right here?
I mean, the whole thing for me was so fun. I mean, I've known, first of all, to work with Mindy is a dream, and I was so happy that she came to me with this project because I'm such a fan of her work. But I also have known Jeanie Buss since I was 14 years old, and when I knew that this was loosely based on, her experience as the first female basketball owner and what that family dynamic is and how crazy that is, I was like, what a dream and what an honor to be able to do that in the way that we can do it, which is just having fun with it. And so it was right away it was, and the script was so good. It was such a good script that it just
How open
like
was Jeanie to you having some vulnerable conversations with her about stuff?
Jeanie was so cool, and she really was open, and she knew, she really trusted Mindy's team and Mindy to write, this in a way that was something that, look, it's not the Lakers, it's the Waves, and it's not, but she really knew that she was in safe hands, and so Jeanie and Linda Rambis, who her character is loosely based on, have been so warm, so open, and just amazing.
Well, and Jeannie's so smart, and the way she thinks about her role is so sophisticated. Because one of the reasons she wanted to do this show, she approached me 5 years ago to want to do this show.
She came to you.
She came to me, and so she is the heart of the show. Is that she loved The Office, and so she's someone who has a very serious job, but doesn't take herself seriously. She wanted the show. She could have said, I want the show to be a drama, and I want my character to be hugely important, and everyone admires them. But she's like, no, I want it to be funny.
I would have done that too.
And by the way, it's her life. It's very dramatic, and it's a hugely stressful job with so many pressures on it. But I love that about her, that she wanted to be really funny. And from the very beginning, she gave us full access to her whole life and to interview her whenever we wanted.
Such a good sense of humor, and I remember when she said you can't write half of the things that happen in my life. And Mindy, we're gonna.
I think the point you raised too, she is a lot smarter than people realize and give her credit for.
Well, that's you could say that about most women in
Yes.
positions,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Also, she's beautiful, and so that's the thing that sometimes people, she is glamorous and gorgeous, and she was single for a long time, and I think that's just the way the world is. That sometimes, and she's the president of a team, and they, but that's what the show explores, which I think makes it so fun for our writers.
What was it about Kate that made you want to get her?
I mean, she's a movie star who wanted to do it. I mean, we were, my co-creators, Hudson and David Stassen, we love her and have been such a fan. And it never occurred to us that she was even someone who would consider something like this. And so I think we sent the script to her agent, Allie, and we were like, well, we'll just see, maybe. And we were so stunned and excited when she was interested.
It was weird when I saw even just the because you get this email and it's offer and it has the log line. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. It wasn't even just my psychic thing went off, and I was like, oh no, I knew. I just knew immediately. I'm like, oh, now I gotta read it. But I just was like, oh wait. This is,
but it's the thing though that Mindy and especially you've created such a brand that I remember when I first read it, I went, oh, I immediately know this is good. I knew what I was, and I was so blown away because I'm a big sports fan, but also I'm such a huge, but also to work with Mindy. I remember having our first Zoom meeting, and I was sort of I was just unsure, and just honestly, it's such a dream. I remember when I was just when I met with them, I was like, they're not gonna want me for this. I couldn't imagine myself working with Kate Hudson, and I think of that all the time. I'm always like,
well, we heard you on the podcast.
But it's the truth.
Saying
it was
that there were moments
crazy.
where you couldn't believe it.
Well, and also just to be working with people that you admire so much. Sometimes I'm I can't believe I get to sit in a room with these ladies. These are women that I respect, that I admire, and to be able to collaborate with them and to be able to like look over and ask for advice is something that as an actor, as a woman, as a mom is like just so precious. I'm so grateful.
Well, so I've created a couple different shows, and what I find really fun about this one is there's a great joy in like doing a show where there's like you're finding unknowns and sort of launching them and teaching them the ropes. This was completely different. Almost everyone on the show came in with their own fan base and their own history, and it was just, I mean, obviously every show of season 1 has its challenges, but to just come in with so many pros was so exciting for Dave and Ike and I. And whenever we post about the show, like Brenda's fan base from all the different shows she has done since the time she was 12 years old, 9 years old, we're like, we can't believe it. And it's just, everyone has these little armies. Like
It's
they're
so
like,
cool.
It's so cool.
Like Drew too. You know,
Oh my God,
I posted,
yeah.
like they're
Drew.
so excited. You know, because.
Yeah, and then of course we have some people that we are introducing to the American public. For a lot of people, like Fabrizio Guido and Toby Sandeman has worked before, but I think never in a comedy like this. So that's really fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
very
we
handsome.
were just with Jay Ellis and those guys.
Jay's
It's fun to
the
see him.
best.
I love Jay. He's a good guy.
He's the
Yeah,
best.
he's such a good guy. Yeah. So it's so fun, and it's always such a treat to see you all in different things. So now that we see you all together, right?
Yeah.
It's really cool. So
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.